Looking at the Spider-Man artist landscape right now, it's safe to say that fans have been getting treated well visually. Talents like Pepe Larraz, Care Andrews, Federico Vicenti, and John Romita Jr. are just some of the many names you could list to have worked on the webhead over the last few years. But there's one artist that stands out among the rest with his work on Spider-Man, and that of course is Marco Checcetto. So today we're going to deep dive his Spider-Man and break down why he is the best Spider-Man artist right now. And as always, ask the question, can they Spider-Man? The series where I analyze artists that draw the famous webhead and whether they've been drawing him for years or draw him for fun. I let you know whether or not I think they can Spider-Man. Born and raised in Italy, Checcetto would fall in love with comics after his grandma gave him a collection. And funny enough, the character that stood out to him the most was Spider-Man. Starting at about 7 to 10 years old, Checcetto would draw his favorite superhero, and he would fall more in love with Marvel as he would get into the first animated Spider-Man show, as well as falling in love with Daredevil and X-Men comics. After doing some in and out jobs in Italy, he'd eventually get in touch with Marvel, and boom, by 2007, he was working on Marvel Comics Presents number 10. And it wouldn't be too long before Checcetto would get his dream of working on Spider-Man. He would debut his time with the character in Amazing Spider-Man issue 610, and although Checcetto has evolved over the years, and definitely for the better, you can definitely see the inklings of what would ultimately become his true peak when drawing the webhead. The main things that stand out to me is the way he goes about Spidey's costume. The smaller and almost squinty eyes, as well as the flat and squared boots, show the consistency with his approach on Spidey. And going back to that evolving aspect of Checchetto's career, the artist has credited his issue 5 of the 2011 Punisher series to be the first time he noticed his art take a big shift. And this is where I feel like Checcetto really found his full style with Marvel. And when we look at his other work in the 2010s, he'd actually work more on Spider-Man, taking this more polished look to the web slinger. The dark tones and shadow work with fast-paced black bordered panels are what give that Checcetto feel. He utilizes a misty background with motion indicators that add to the intensity of his action, and his panel work is also super fun, with creative storytelling to feel like a splash page, but also break down the page to feel like a panel layout. Checcetto was truly coming to form with not just his webhead, but as an artist in general. And when he would join writer Chip Zdarsky on a critically acclaimed run on Daredevil, Checcetto would grow in popularity, and more fans were starting to notice how dope his art was, and even more specifically, his Spider-Man. So fast forward a few years, when it came time for the webhead to get a relaunch of his Ultimate version, Checcetto was the artist to be paired with writer Jonathan Hickman, and the two would deliver one of the most popular comic books to come out in the last couple years. To me, Ultimate Spider-Man truly is Checcetto at his absolute best. His Spider-Man continues to be a blast, and we get all of the best features that he learned over the years, while also getting to add more. As this is a new universe, he gets to be more creative with his designs and overall work. He moves the webhead really well, with action shots that feel cinematic, and these smooth perspectives panel to panel helps the story pace perfectly. Checcetto is inspired by artists like John Romita Jr., and he claims him to be the best Spider-Man artist he's ever seen, and you can feel that inspiration with the dynamic action scenes that are equal parts brutal / gritty and makes sense narratively. He uses his set pieces / environment really well, with intricate details that give the pages more depth, and one of my favorite parts is his web swinging scenes, as they are absolutely beautiful and feel totally natural. Looking at his webhead specifically, his build is lean with a heavy focus on the acrobatic side of Spider-Man, and as I mentioned before with the costume, the squinty eyes with distinct spider logo and boots lets readers know that this version of Spider-Man is very much Checchetto's. But it's not just Spidey that gets the kick-ass designs, because in this Ultimate universe, there has to be Ultimate Rogues and Ultimate Partners, and his designs are absolutely badass, with cool callbacks to more traditional looks while also making it contemporary and unique. The looks are very stylish, and the only way I could really describe it is there's just an aura to Checchetto's designs. Like, come on, man bun Mr. Negative with the vest, that's awesome. There's just a great overall appeal with Checchetto's art, whether it's his environment or his people, and man, does he draw some good looking people. This is a top 5 handsomest Peter Parker. Overall, Checchetto's time with the webhead is both consistent and evolving. With a true love and passion for the character, Checcetto was a fan first, and he's used that to make his work fun and impactful. There's a reason that when I posted my Dan Mora video talking about how he's my dream Spider-Man artist, a handful of people would comment down below that Marco Checcetto was already a dream fit for the character. And I think they're right, because to Checcetto, it was a a dream to draw Spider-Man. And it's that love / passion that I personally want from a Spider-Man artist. And with his kick-ass work ethic garnering commercial and critical success, there's no doubt that at this moment, right now, Marco Checcetto as a Spider-Man artist is simply the best. But what do you guys think of Marco Checcetto? Who do you think is the best current Spider-Man artist? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for more.